So you're stranded on an island and surrounded by hordes of unholy horrors. Can you stay alive long enough to escape? Not likely, but at least you're armed with your brain, a very hot item around these parts, and a how to survive guide written by an eccentric stranger. Forage for food, find shelter, and make weapons and tools necessary to put off your inevitable end. Fight for your life for as long as you can. Now, How to Survive is a guidebook that teaches one the basics of survival. It's also the name of the zombie survival game that puts you in control of castaways on an island off the coast of Colombia that has become full of infected inhabitants. How to Survive contains elements from several genres: role-playing games, simulation, and of course survival horror. And at the core, they all serve a greater good of an action-adventure game. Now, a menagerie of genres can be difficult to pull off, but How to Survive manages to keep everything contained in one flesh-heaping package. Now, things begin with 3 different characters to choose from, each with their own stats and abilities. They have their strengths and their weaknesses, and specific items that they can craft. After you've chosen your survivor, now you're treated to the heart and soul of the game, the survival guide. Filled with amazing animated artwork and satire, the survival guide is your Bible throughout the game. It serves as the vehicle for presenting every aspect from tutorials to crafting guides, all with a generous dose of humor. Now that humor offsets all the horror that is happening on the island, so it's nice to be able to pick up pages from this torn apart guide, piece them together, and learn how to do things like craft a bow, build a fire, how to make a Molotov cocktail. There's a set of rules within this guide. They're called Kovacs rules. But I've got my own rules here that you should use or abide by while playing How to Survive. Rule 1 being, zombies aren't your enemy. You are the enemy. The thing that you have to learn is that when you're trying to survive, zombies are not going to kill you. It's your body that is going to kill you. You're going to run out of food. You're going to run out of water. You're going to become exhausted. And you have to account for these. You have to, nourish those things. You have to nourish your body. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to outrun a zombie, or you're going to pass out in the water, something like that. That's rule 1. Rule 2, pay attention to strangers because they have items that you need. You're going to have to do your best to help them. In return, they'll give you some sort of reward. Now, it turns out that the quest that they have for you might not make sense at the time, but it's worth, listening, hearing them out, and in How to Survive, most likely, that item is going to help you in some way or another, whether it's ammunition, food, or just another checkpoint. Moving on to Rule 3, become handy. Learn to live off the land. You're going to be here on this island for quite a while. Now, there's a crafting system in How to Survive that you can use, and it's pretty cool because everything you find is able to be crafted into different things, whether it's a weapon, a transport item, or something that you can use to, fish with. Anyways, it's so important also to protect yourself. So you want to learn how to craft armor. Learn how to craft things and you will be able to fend off all the different horrors of the night. Now, while you are doing that, you're going to have to make yourself useful. You're going to learn to be deadly. That means killing things, gaining that experience, and finishing off those enemies so you can learn how to take them out more effectively. You're going to be wanting to do those one-shot kills, critical hits with a machete, as well as have pinpoint accuracy with that bow or silent scope. Finally, don't go out at night, and if you have to, walk with a big fiery stick. The typical rules for surviving a zombie apocalypse apply here. Don't be loud. Use a bow instead of a gun. You just gotta watch out. Don't get caught off guard. Know your enemy. Be smart in your combat actions. You're trying to survive here, not, kill everything. Sometimes one leads to another, but you want to be careful. Anyways, finally, in How to Survive, kind of bends the rules of survival horror in that you can bring a friend. It's an awesome solo game, but why wouldn't you play with a friend? It's another person that can watch your back while you're rooting through your backpack. It's a person that can fend off enemies while you're healing yourself. 2 heads is better than 1 in this. Of course, you need double the food, double the water, but you know what? I would want someone watching my back. So, How to Survive is definitely an interesting take on zombie survival. It borrows from different genres and manages to keep them all in harmony. The crafting is pretty cool, and the co-op definitely heightens the experience. The combat and the quests, they can get a little repetitive, but How to Survive is definitely a great game that you should check out